Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and this is the Tales and Teacups book club picks for the months of October and November. So this is a book that has been on my radar for a while, and thank you to Lisa for gifting this to me last year, and I've been waiting until kind of the fall winter months to read this because I feel like this perfectly captures the feeling of this book. So for those of you who don't know, it follows a guy named Robert who goes to school, and he ends up getting involved with this kind of friend group who are taught by this kind of quirky professor that teaches them the classics, Greek, all those things. And from the beginning of the book you find out that one of their friends named Bunny has been murdered by their friend group, and so this kind of basically shows the lead up of events to that murder and then ultimately the aftermath of this. So this one is very much kind of been the one that has kind of kick-started the dark academia kind of, books. So this book has been one that has kickstarted the dark academia trends that we've seen in literature since then. So this has very much been the pioneer for that. But this is one that is very well loved, and this was my first Donna Tartt book as well. So it was very much kind of stepping outside, trying something new, which has been really good. And I really like this. I think because from the beginning you do know who is murdered. You kind of are, I feel like you're a little bit more observant and like picking up on hints here or there of like why he was ultimately killed, which I think makes for such like a fun, interesting read. And so I was really kind of pulled in with the atmosphere of this book. I was just like, it totally just, like I said, you can tell this was a book that like pioneered the dark academia kind of trend that we've seen now, and I felt like kind of October was the perfect time to kind of read this. So what is interesting about this book is that the narrator is kind of unreliable too, and all the characters in here are not very likable at all. They are very flawed, they are very selfish, and just their thinking of things does not make sense. And I think that makes it very interesting too, because you don't really sympathize with them in their situation, which I think is very interesting, because I feel like in any other situation like you would at least kind of try to put yourself in their shoes, but they're just not likable at all, that you just don't really care. So that was very interesting kind of reading it from that standpoint, when you're like, these people are just not good at all. But I think it just adds to that kind of dark academia, like disruptive characters that you tend to see. And yeah, I really liked it. I did feel like there were some pacing issues throughout. In particular, I saw like one review on Goodreads that said like the plot really is like running in place, and I do feel like the chapters kind of leading up to the murder and then kind of shortly after it was like kind of the plot was at a standstill, and it was just basically the characters, smoking cigarettes and getting drunk for like 200 pages. So I would say like some of those parts I felt like could have been edited down, and this book could have been like maybe 150 pages shorter. But nevertheless, I still really liked it, and you can see how this book has inspired a lot of the kind of trends in dark academia and like that self-destructive kind of those characters that we see in these types of novels, which was a lot of fun. And definitely I would say this is definitely a modern classic, and I haven't really read anything like this, so it was very interesting. And because you know who's murdered, it just makes it that much more intriguing, because you're trying to figure out how this happened, like what are the events leading up to it. And there's some mystery because not only is the narrator not really that reliable, but his friends aren't either. And just seeing people picking up the pieces of like you, the reader, picking up the pieces of like what is kind of like the common thread that leads to the murder was really interesting and a lot of fun. So I really liked that, and I definitely think this book is really good. I think it's a book everyone needs to read at least once in their lifetime. I think it is a very important kind of book to read, and just kind of a modern classic, and just how it has been very instrumental in the dark academia kind of, you know, setting up that literary world for that. So yeah, overall I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really well done. My only complaints were, like I said, some of the pacing issues and the running in the same spot, like for in between like the climax of the novel was a little bit slow, but it definitely picks up, and you're just really, I feel like you're just very suspicious of everyone, which I think makes for a very intriguing read. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this view. Let me know if you've read this book in the comments and what you thought about it and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.